If you watched our last video, I want to start by showing you the two different ways you can get this equation typed into your calculator. The top equation is by far the easiest one to do. I've just literally typed it in exactly as I see here. You can do this if your calculator has the log base feature. To tell if you have that, hit alpha and then window. And you should see option 5, this thing called log base. If you have, oops, I selected the wrong one. But if you have that option, you can go ahead and just type in exactly as you see right here. I mean, it's the easiest way to do it. If you don't have that, I've typed in Y2. What else you can type in? It's something using the change of base formula, which we'll talk about more in another video. To do this, we're going to just use the log button right here if you don't have the log base feature. So I've typed in 3 and then log of x plus 1, exactly what you see in parentheses here. Close off the parentheses, divide it by log of whatever the base is, so log of 1/2. And notice, again, I've closed off the parentheses, and then that -4 is at the end. So it's a little more involved to get that typed in, but you can certainly do this. To plot points, then I'll take a look at what my table shows me. Notice in both columns I get the exact same points, just showing me that those two equations were the same thing. There's errors up here because any number smaller than -1 we said we couldn't use. You can't do the log of a negative number. So all of those get me errors. As soon as I get past -1, I start to get actual points. So I found these points were easy to plot, 0, 4, and 1, -7. I've got those points plotted. And then this point as well, 7, -13. A lot of these are irrational because that's what logarithms tend to give you, but you should be able to find a few good points in there. So I've got those points plotted. Because my base was a number smaller than 1, I get the logarithmic curve that starts close to the asymptote and then curves away from it down here. If you look at the graph, and again, I'm going to point out the same thing I pointed in the last video if you watched it, I've got to be really careful because it looks like my graph just ends. It looks like it begins right there and then continues forever in that direction. I know that my graph actually goes up to infinity. My range is -infinity to +infinity. So the graph stops on my calculator screen because of the resolution, but I need to be smart enough that when I graph this, I know that graph goes up forever. It's just getting so steep over here, but make sure you include that arrow because the graph does go up forever. It does not end right there the way the calculator is making it appear.